A battle built here with another video, getting some more Season 11 Go Battle League battles, these taking place in the Ultra League meta. Today's feature is going to be on the Dark Dragon type Pokemon of Hydragon and its Community Day move of Brutal Swing. Brutal Swing is a charge move that is cheap in energy cost and packs quite a punch. The team comp we decided to build around Hydragon consists of Shadow Kanto Muck and Registeel to mainly focus on Hydragon's double weakness to Fairy, and at least Shadow Kanto Muck does well against its fighting weakness. Registeel, because of how OP it is, even though it is also weak to fighting, can perform quite well depending on the situation in the backline against a fighter. We were able to pull off quite some dubs with this team, and I can't wait to jump into these battles right now. The battles took place around the 2500 elo mark. I've been struggling quite a bit in the Kanto Cup meta, so it was a nice breath of fresh air to start winning with this team. So let's jump right into these battles. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, especially if you want to see more content like this. Getting into the first battle, we have Hydragon on the Umbreon lead. A relatively neutral looking matchup. Hydragon is a very glass candy mon. You could see how quickly we were able to get to our first Brutal Swing there. We're dealing neutral damage Dragon Breath, but the Umbreons are dealing neutral damage charge moves in last resort. Because Brutal Swing will be resisted by Umbreon's dark typing, we go for the Flash Cannon there, hoping that it would be our potential win con in this situation. But as we play out the Zero Shield, we're going to get outpaced before we're able to get to another charge move. They're going to go for the foul play here. It's going to take out the Hydragon's remaining health, and we're going to let it come through. As much as this is a Hydragon feature, we want to make sure this team can also win. So we thought our best case scenario here was to let Hydragon go down, come in with Registeel, and farm to 100 energy. Even though that Umbreon is in the red, Umbreon is such a thick mon that all these lock-ons are going to do literally no damage to it, and it's going to take quite a while before we're able to fast move farm it completely down. They get off 2 foul plays. We have a boatload of energy. We're waiting to see what their back line consists of, and they're waiting to switch timer out quite a bit, and we're coming to learn that their back line has no Registeel counter because they've come in with a Cresselia against our Registeel. Even Umbreon in the lead is not really a Registeel counter, so as this match is continuing, it's looking like we're going to get our first dub because Registeel hard carried. I mean, Hydragon clearly popped off. They come in with a Charmer here, and then we swap in our Shadow Kanto Muck, which is going to be dealing super effective poison jab damage. And then the charge move of Thunder Punch is going to be the one you want to go with against Fairy types, because the other charge move of Dark Pulse is going to be resisted by the Fairy typing. Now, it would be nice is Niantic introduces a new Fairy charge move that's cheaper, and I mean not Fairy charge move, Poison charge move that's cheaper in energy and hits quite hard. Hopefully, that can happen at a future date, but as far as Poison charge moves go, Muck does not have access to one where, you want to be running it on its main charge move set. Getting into this next matchup, we have Hydragon on a Cresselia lead. You could see how hard that Brutal Swing is hitting, but we do have to be quite concerned in this matchup against Cresselia, even though we're Dark going against the Psychic type, because they have access to the charge move of Moonblast. And Moonblast is going to be double super effective because it is a Fairy charge move. So we're going to play out this lead quite a bit. We get off both our Brutal Swings here. We take the 1-0 shield disadvantage essentially. So, sorry, we're at a 2-1 shield disadvantage here. We're able to win lead though. They come in with a Charizard. We get the shield back, and we CMP'd, which is perfect there because as you'll notice, their Charizard is running Dragon Breath. So they were going to be able to get quite a bit of energy on us if we did not CMP or play that properly. So we decided to come in with our Shadow Kanto Muck here. They're getting to a charge move quite quick here, so we call the Dragon Claw, not going to be a Blast Burn. We get to a Thunder Punch, which is going to deal super effective damage to the Fire Flyer of Charizard, and we wait to see their last mon, and it ends up being a Talonflame. So they're running a team of, wait, what was their lead again? Cresselia, double Fire Flyer, which our backline can surprisingly do pretty well against because of the flying typing on both of those mons. Registeel can comfortably come in here after Muck got that last shield, and Zap Cannon the Talonflame to bits, so our opponent decides to top left there. Hydragon putting some good work there, did well beating the lead matchup and allowing our backline to finish off their Fire Flyers. Everybody did their job in that matchup. Getting to this next one, we have Hydragon on the Galvantula lead. We're resisting the Volt Switch damage that's coming through, but you're going to come to find out that the lunge charge move that Galvantula runs, super effective bug typing, is going to pack quite a punch because Hydragon is such a glassy mon. Then they snipe us with a Charm, which had me so pissed off in the moment. Huge play by my opponent there to keep their Galvantula alive, not allow me to get a charge move off, come in with one Charm being double super effective to Hydragon, taking out its remaining health. So we decide that we need to fight back. We commit a shield there and farm the Alolan Ninetales all the way down, giving us such an energy advantage, even though we're at the shield disadvantage. We're going for a resisted Thunder Punch here because Galvantula's glassy. We're figuring they'd use a shield there. They decided not to, so we're going to commit to another farm down. We're going to shield this charge move, most likely being a lunge because we're low health. They're going to want to get that debuff on us, and then they come in with a Jellicent. Our Muck is loaded up with a bunch of super effective damage to deal to that Jellicent, but we come in with our Registeel because it can hit the Jellicent for super effective Zap Cannon damage and debuff the Jellicent's attack. So we're sitting in a very good situation here with our backline against their backline. Now, Hydragon, talking about that lead matchup again, doesn't play the worst match in the world there, considering the fact that they had to swap into their Alolan Ninetales to snipe our Hydragon's health down. But essentially, the lunge does a bunch of damage, but we resist all the electric moves that would come from the Galvantula. And the Brutal Swings and the Dragon Breaths would add up. That's what's great about Hydragon. As much as it's a glass cannon, it's super oppressive with its fast move damage of Dragon Breath, and then also the Brutal Swings are super easy to come by. As you'll notice, we're finishing off this match just like I said we would. We got both of the Jellicent shields with the Registeel, and then we finish it off with the Kanto Muck with Thunder Punch on the Jellicent and the jabs on the Galvantula. You know, you'd think by now I'd still be used to commentating, but these battles are going quite a bit quick, and I'm still haven't consistently been pumping out videos on the daily like I'd like to. So hopefully I'll get into that ebb and flow sooner or later. We have another Galvantula lead here, and we're going to play it out the exact same way we played out the last one. And we'll see how well Hydragon can do here. Can't be allowing any free Volt Switches to come through. The opponent decides not to try and snipe our remaining health down. And we were hoping to get off one more Brutal Swing there. But at least we know we would have won the 0 shield. And potentially would have won the 1 shield depending on if we would have committed and gotten to another Brutal Swing in time before getting farmed down. We come in with Muck though because we did not commit a shield. We do get Lunge there. We call their bait because all Galvantulas and all Mons that have access to debuffing moves are addicted to the debuffs. So we're able to farm down their Galvantula after, and now we have the Registeel Mirror. And they're staying in this, yeah, because we took out their Galvantula and we swapped in, and we have the shield advantage here. So that's going to be huge for us. They did get a shield, but we landed a Focus Blast there. We're hoping that they'd want to overfarm. We can get to another Focus Blast in time, but that ends up not being the case. They have another Focus Blast. We're going to overfarm a bunch, just hope they don't shield. The Registeel is quite low, so at this point, we're going to Zap Cannon them on the off chance they shield again, which they do, which would have allowed us to essentially tank any one of their other Focus Blasts better than the 2 that we had shielded before. They then come in with Crest. They notice, you know what, our backline is going to obliterate theirs, and it's GG, getting on to the next match. We have Hydragon on a Shadow Drapion lead here. We would love for this Drapion to be running Crunch and Aqua Tail, which is a moveset on some Drapions, but not on this one. They go for the Sludge Bomb. It's neutral damage. It's stab. Drapion hits hard, but as you'll see, we haven't thrown a charge move yet, and the Dragon Breaths have done quite a bit of damage to the Drapion. We tried to build up close to the Flash Cannon to force their shield, but they recognized that I did not build up enough, and they knew Drapion was thick enough to tank and resist that dark charge that came through. So because we committed that shield, essentially we commit to the Dragon Breath farm down. We get a bunch of energy. We're at a shield disadvantage, but we're going for a huge Flash Cannon there that lands on the Scrafty. So you know what? Even though we're ABA weak to fighting, at least Hydragon has something to hit its weaknesses with. As much as Flash Cannon is only neutral against fighters, it still does quite a bit of damage, as you saw there. We then come in with our Shadow Kanto Muck. We're building up a little bit over a Thunder Punch here. Gonna hopefully do the remainder of the Scrafty's help. They decide to shield there. We want to watch out for a boosted foul play, so I think in this case we decide to shield. We call correctly, and now knowing their energy, we're going to commit to a jab down. So even though we're at a shield disadvantage, we're in a great spot here. Their last Mon is Jellicent, and this back line feasts on them. This entire team feasts on Jellicent. Hydragon loves Jellicent in this Ultra League meta, as long as it's not running one specific charge move, that being Ice Beam, and we may see a Jellicent on Hydragon lead in one of these future battles. Getting into this next matchup, we have Hydragon on Giratina. This would be a great match if they're running Shadow Claw, and it seems that they are, except I make a huge misplay here. We win lead, we win swap, but I swapped late because I keep forgetting it's a brand new team. This is still like one of my first few battles running this team, that Kanto Muck is going to be my fighting answer. Obviously, I can't stay in with Hydragon because of the Dark typing. Can't go into Registeel because of the Steel typing. So I got to get into Kanto Muck faster. I also miscounted and thought that was going to be a puff. So essentially, I gave up Switch when I could have given up a shield. And honestly, I could have left this situation at a shield disadvantage, and that would have put me in a much better spot in this match, especially when we come to find out what their third Mon is here. So they're going for a puff. up. We shielded up because essentially Hydragon's glass and those counters are adding up. Their last mon is going to be an Alolan Ninetales with Charm. We get to the Flash Cannon. Can we turn this match around? Double super effective damage is shielded, and unfortunately this is going to be GG. Registeel is not going to have enough health and bulk in it to take out my opponent's back line of Giratina Altered and Alolan Ninetales, with both of those mons being at full health. I do happen to play out this matchup completely though, because in the back of my mind I'm like, maybe I have a chance, but the problem is it's Shadow Claw Giratina. Those Shadow Claws are neutral, whereas Dragon Breath Giratina would have helped us a bit because we would have resisted, and they would have generated energy a lot slower, so that could have potentially been like one other win con here, but the main win con would have been, you know what, we win lead, we win swap, we don't screw up the swap, we overcommit a shield if we have to on a foul play, and then we line up this Registeel, the Alolan Ninetales in the end game, Hydragon and Giratina, and we easily could have won this match. So this was more user error, not the team's fault that we're going to lose this match, and I guess it's a good thing I played this out completely because it gave me a nice amount of time to essentially explain my own downfall in this situation, but there was really no chance here, especially after we take out the Alolan Ninetales. The Giratina comes in, still has a shield. At this point, I don't know why I still haven't top lefted. I yell at my opponents all the time when they should top left, and you know I'm pretty guilty as charged. I should take my own advice sometimes, especially in these situations. Either way, though, we've won all our battles up to this point except for that one. Getting to the next match, we have our Hydragon on a Talonflame lead, another positive lead. You'll notice my phone about to die in the middle of that battle, even though if you're checking the top right corner, it's being charged. I need to get a new phone upgrade. Anyhow, this is a positive lead, except we need to shield the Brave Bird, which is what we did there. And then they safe swapped into Swampert. And our back line is quite weak against Swampert, so we stay in with Hydragon. Hydragon does have a positive matchup here, being the Dragon type going up against a Water type. We do have to watch out for Earthquakes, but because we left that Talonflame situation with so much energy, as long as we call this Earthquake correctly, we can be in a fantastic situation, which is what we do. So now we're going to commit to a Dragon Breath farm down. They might have been able to get off a Hydro Cannon there, but they probably wanted to try and do more than that, which they were unable to. They come in with a Wolverine. I'm deciding to myself, do I want to pivot or not? And as I'm deciding that, I throw a charge move just to be safe, and then I finally decide, let's catch an Icicle Spear, because we do not want our Muck or our Registeel to get EQ. So huge play there. That essentially just wraps up this match. Honestly though, Hydragon put in so much work against both the Talonflame and the Swampert. Hydragon actually seriously carried here against two exceptionally meta mons, and we're able to take out the Talonflame because they decided not to use their last shield yet. They don't know what our last mon is. We're going for a Thunder Punch. This will get their Walreign's last shield. I guess they're hoping that I built a team that was like ABA weak to Walrein, because they got no shields here, a Walrein that's practically dead, and not much hope in this matchup. I do decide to come back in with Hydragon because I feel like I'm at the Brutal Swing, and Hydragon had carried so hard I wanted to get, like, you know, it's just desserts and finish up this matchup. But unfortunately, it was not at the Brutal Swing, and I get Icicle Spear by the Wolverine. They see the Registeel, they recognize they are not overcoming this situation, and we take another dub. So shout out to Hydragon. Really hard carrying there. This entire team comp I like a lot. Shadow, Kanto, Muck, hella underrated. Really bad lead here. It's the worst possible lead that Hydragon can run into, whether it's Powder Snow or a Charm. So we save swap into Kanto, Muck. They come in with a Blastoise, which is definitely not an answer to our Shadow, Kanto, Muck. They have a third mon in the back, which we're going to come to find out soon, is a Swampert, so that's a huge misplay on my opponent. They should have definitely just brought in the Swampert here. If they would have kept alignment, they could have won this match, but because they come in with Blastoise, we're sitting in a fantastic situation. Even if we have to give up an additional shield, which is exactly what we're going to do here, we're going to commit to the farm down and commit to flipping switch, because even without shields, Registeel and that Alolan Ninetales is going to slaughter. We just have to hope that Hydragon can take care of whatever our opponent's last mon is. We come to find out it is that Swampert. It's a Shadow Swampert, so maybe that's what they were worried about. Maybe they were like, maybe my energy advantage, they're worried about Dark Pulse landing, which could have done a good chunk because it's Shadow on Shadow damage. And we're going to come to find out here, because I've gotten all two Dark Pulses, I get their last shield and I do that much damage, but they still would have been in a fine spot here. They're committing to a Mud Shot all the way down. I have no choice but to go into Hydragon here, make it meet this Shadow Swampert's Earthquake, but Hydragon, as much as it's glassy, it's not that glassy, and I was fully expecting the snipe down. So when they come with the Alolan Ninetales, we hard swap in the Registeel, and they realize that all hope is lost, and we get a GG in that match after a huge switch flip based on that really bad lead. Getting into this next match, we have what looks like should be a beautiful lead, but the opponent decides to stay in. So in the back of my mind, I'm like, you're the one Jellicent not running Bubble Beam along with your Shadow Ball. You're definitely running Ice Beam. and I'm going to be so mad about it, but I had to let it come through because I really wanted to see Bubble Beam or Shadow Ball and be in like an amazing situation. But regardless, even after the Ice Beam lands, Hydragon still performs really well in that matchup. As you see, wins a no shield, leaves with a bunch of energy, gets a Brutal Swing off onto the Giratina Altered. I'm really liking Brutal Swing as a move, as much as it was nerfed, which is super unfortunate because the initial leak was that Brutal Swing was going to do that much damage and it was going to double debuff the opponent's attack. And considering they've only given Brutal Swing to Hydragon, and as much as Hydragon is popping off here, it's not the most meta mon in the world, and I feel like if they let it keep that double debuff, it could have become like a legitimate staple as long as it stayed away from fighters and charmers. But even without the guaranteed double debuff to your opponent's attack, Hydragon is performing quite well with its new Community Day move here. Getting into this current situation after my nice little rant about the nerf of Hydragon's Community Day move, we have Registeel and Registeel matchup, and we had the energy advantage. I think they swapped into it. We know their last mon is Giratina Altered, and we get another top left. Plenty of these top lefts here, even in certain situations where you wouldn't expect us to win. I genuinely enjoyed this team a lot, and honestly, I'm probably going to continue to use it. Running into this next battle, we have Hydragon on a Crest lead. Again, need to watch out for the Moonblast. Yo, where are my Grass Knot Future Sight Cresses? Talonflame become even more meta so that we can force that moveset on every Cresselia so that Hydragon can sit here super comfortably. And then Hydragon meta would pop off even more because of how well it does against Talonflame. Either way, I'm stuck committing shields to Moonblast from Cresses. Have to worry about it. I have not seen how much damage it's done, but I just assume it would one-shot based on Hydragon's glassiness and the fact that it's double super effective. So we've committed both shields here, and because of our situation and also recognizing that the opponent has thrown as they've gotten to the Moonblast every single time, we decided to keep a Brutal Swing on our Hydragon, save swap into our Kanto Monk, and that was a huge save swap because we got all the Crest's energy out and we lured out their Swampert in the back line. If we would have committed to that lead, this would have been a Swampert against both our Kanto Monk and our Registeel, and we'd have no shields, which means the Swampert just would have went to town, we would have gotten slaughtered, and we would have lost this match hard. Muck is doing all it can to take out the Swampert's remaining health and get its remaining shields. Unfortunately, not able to. We are still at the shield disadvantage, but Hydragon still has a bunch of health. So we go for the Brutal Swing, knowing that their Swampert farmed a bunch, so they're going to want to throw. We get their last shield. We're fully expecting an Earthquake to come through here. We've seen how much a Shadow Earthquake is done. Here's how much a regular Earthquake is done. Will do from a Swampert. Hydragon still holds on and survives. They then come in with their final mon, which is a Talonflame, which is actually good for us. As much as a Fire Flyer against a Steel type, they have no shields, we have no shields, and Registeel does enjoy this no shield situation against Talonflame as we Zap Cannon and almost take out that Talonflame's entire health. They do come back in with the Swampert, but even though they're going to get to their charge move right before we're able to, Hydragon has enough health, the Dragon Breaths are going to do enough damage, we're going to finish off the Swampert. The Crest has no energy, it comes in, gets Dragon Breath down, and Hydragon clutches that match too, because they got both of their shields. As you can see, these are legit dubs, all from the same set. A solid 5-0. Out of 10 battles, I went 9-1, and in that one loss, it was literally because I threw, so it could have been like a 10-game win streak with Hydragon. This team comp is legit. If you want to put your Community Day Hydragons to use, I highly recommend it. It does definitely have its play, of course. Just like any other mon, it has its weaknesses. It is a glass cannon of a mon, but it hits hard and it was a lot of fun to use. So please let me know your thoughts on the battles in the comment section below, and any other thoughts. Let me know how your Ultra League battles have gone. Let me know your Kanto Cup battles have gone. Please send me submissions, because if my battles are not going well, I don't really want to shoutcast and talk over them. Thankfully, these Hydragon battles went well. So please link in my in the description of this video. I'll take Kanto Cup, Ultra. I'll take next week's meta, which I think is either Great, Ultra, or Masters. Whatever you want to send me, meta, spice, anything you're having fun with, please send me your battles below. Let me know your thoughts on the team, Hydragon, and anything along those lines also. Also, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all in the next video.